Okay, so what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be solving quadratic equations by graphing, and specifically equations that look like this, where this y value is equal to 0. So 0 equals x squared plus 6x plus 8. We're going to be graphing that, okay? So what we're looking for is, where does our y values equal 0? Well, where does our y values equal 0? It's wherever it hits the x-axis, because all the points on this line have a y value of 0. Like this is 1 comma 0, this is 2 comma 0, this is negative 2 comma 0. So anything that hits this, our y value is going to be 0. So we're going to have to graph this. What we're going to be doing to start off to help us graph it is we're going to be finding the vertex. So if you remember in our last lesson, the way you find the vertex first is you have to use that equation x equals negative b over 2a. Okay? So again, let's go up here. Let's label my a, b, and c. So my a is equal to what? Remember, a is a number in front of x squared, so what's this number? There isn't a number here, so what number is that going to be? It's going to be a 1. B equals, that's the number in front of just x, so that's going to be a 6. And c is that number by itself, and that's going to give me an 8. Okay? And all I'm going to do is plug in whatever I need into here, so x equals, remember, I'm always going to put that negative first, and then I'm going to put parentheses. What does my b equal? It equals a 6. Okay? Over 2 times my a, which my a is 1, so 2 times 1. Remember, always put parentheses whenever we plug it in. So this negative with this 6 is going to give me a negative 6 over 2 times 1, which is 2, and that's going to give me a negative 3. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that, and I'm going to find whatever my y value is. So I'm going to plug it into here, into this equation, and figure out, well, what's that y value for this specific x value right here? So I'm going to go y equals, and then remember, since I'm plugging a negative 3 in for the x, I'm going to put parentheses and put that negative 3. Then I'm going to put the squared plus 6 times, again, I'm going to put the x in. So negative 3 plus 8. Now, I want to go over something before we calculate this. A little refresher. So in this case, I have a negative inside my parentheses. In this case, the negative's on the outside. Okay? So what this one says is this. It's saying negative 2 squared. So that's saying what's negative 2 times negative 2, that's going to give me a positive 4. What this one says is they want you to square the 2 first. So what's 2 squared? Well, that's going to give me 4. And then this negative's on the outside. He's kind of just lurking. He's not included when you square it. So this is going to give me 4, 2 squared, and then you put the negative on the end. This is going to give me a negative 4. Okay, so that's the difference between this, and you're going to use this later on in some of your other examples. So this one, the negative's on the inside, so this is saying negative 3 squared. So negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9, plus 6 times negative 3, that's going to give me a negative 18, and then plus 8. Okay, so positive 9 plus negative 18, that's going to give me a negative 9 plus 8, and that's going to give me a negative 1. So my vertex here is negative 3, comma, negative 1. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and graph that. Negative 3, 1, 2, 3 to the left, and then negative 1, down 1. Okay, now what we're going to do to find our other points to graph is we're going to actually make an XY table. So I'm going to go over here, I'm going to make my XY table. And this vertex is, a vertex is always in the middle of your graph. So it's going to be my middle point that I'm going to choose here. So I'm going to go negative 3, comma, negative 1. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the x value above it and the x value below it. So what's 1 above negative 3? Well, that's going to be negative 2. And then what's 1 below it? Negative 4. Then what I'm going to do is take these two x values and do the same thing where I plug it into here. Okay? So I'll go down here. So this is y equals, and now I'll do the negative 2 first. Negative 2 squared plus 6 times negative 2 plus 8. So again, this negative is on the inside, so I'll go ahead and square that. Negative 2 times negative 2 is going to give me a positive 4. Plus 6 times negative 2 is negative 12, and then plus 8. So this 4 plus negative 12 is going to give me a negative 8 plus 8, and that's going to give me a 0. So that means the y value here is equal to 0. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing with negative 4. So I'm going to go y equals, this is negative 4 squared, remember, put my parentheses, plus 6 times negative 4 plus 8. So negative 4 times negative 4 is going to give me a positive 16, plus 6 times negative 4 is going to give me a negative 24, and then a plus 8, okay? 16 plus negative 24, that's going to give me a negative 8 plus 8, and again, that's going to give me a 0. So I'm going to go ahead and graph these 2 points. So I got negative 2 comma 0, which is right there, and negative 4 comma 0, which is right there. And then what I'm going to do is, since I know this is in the middle, I'm going to go ahead and connect it like that, okay? So what points did we hit this x-axis here? Well, we hit it at negative 2 and negative 4. So these are the two x values that are the solution to this equation, okay? So remember, what you're going to do first on this is you're going to first find me my vertex, okay? Find me my vertex by finding the x value of my vertex using this equation, plugging it in and finding me that y value, right? Then put that point in the middle, choose the x above, choose the x below, and then see where it crosses that x-axis. And that's what we got for today. Let's go.